Hello, everybody. Hope y'all doing all right. I'm doing swell. So I just wanted to come on here and I'm gonna play some clips. It's gonna be long, so y'all get y'all some popcorn. Y'all get y'all some whatever. I'm sure y'all have seen these R. Kelly clips. Talking with Gail them already, but I just wanted to talk about it myself and do it in this way because I've seen some of the clips and I have not seen all of the clips. So it's just better for me to just play all the clips and then I can and give my opinions on it as we go and talk about it. So I'm gonna give y'all some time to get y'all some snacks, get y'all some drinks. I suggest alcoholic beverages just because it's more fun that way. Get y'all some little David cakes, get some Slim Jims, some skins, barbecue skins, whatever y'all thing is, y'all go on ahead and get that. And yeah, so I'm gonna give y'all a little time for that. Alright, y'all ready? Okay. Now, I'm gonna play the first clip. This is gonna be the full interview of R. Kelly. Then I'm gonna play some extended clips of the interview with Gail, and then I'm gonna play the girls, Azriel and Jocelyn Savage. I think that's her name, Jocelyn. So why couldn't it just be Jocelyn? Black people. Okay, so let's play R. Kelly.
To begin with your big explosive interview with R. Kelly. Wow. He had a lot to get off his chest. He actually said he welcomed the opportunity.
Oh, I don't own the rights to any of this. Y'all know that, yeah.
To speak. Boy, did we let him speak. And everybody has switched their channels and turned on to us to see it this morning.
Let him speak.
So let's get right to it because R. Kelly is breaking his silence about the sexual abuse charges that landed him in jail last month. The embattled R&B singer spoke with Gail for nearly 80 minutes yesterday. It is an interview that you will see only on CBS this morning, and he says all the women now accusing him of physical and sexual abuse, he says all of them are lying. That's what he says. Chicago prosecutors have charged Kelly with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Authorities say 3 of the 4 alleged victims were underage when the suspected crimes happened. Now, Kelly has pleaded not guilty. Sources tell CBS News federal and state authorities in at least 2 states, New York and Illinois, are now investigating a variety of allegations. The singer, as you know, has faced intense scrutiny for more than a decade now. It was reignited in January after the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly featured interviews with 7 accusers and former members of his inner circle. They all say that Kelly preys on vulnerable women and young girls. I am surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and seeing things on the blogs and I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God, all of them. That little girl's trapped in the basement. Helicopters over my house. Trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house. Handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult. I don't even really know what a cult is, but
you know what a cult is.
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong when it comes to women that I apologize. But I apologize in those relationships at the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me.
So?
Nobody said nothing good.
But is it true? Is it true? Now, I've always been taught, or I guess I should say heard, growing up, is that maybe 1 to 3 people can tell lies on you. But when the whole world, when the whole school got something bad to say about you, everybody can't be lying on you. There are some people in this world that wish you bad. There are. But they can't be for everybody. Look how big my hands is, y'all. I guess I am a man, ain't I? God damn. There's some big foot, big hand women's out there too, though. Let's continue with the story.
They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes.
Me too.
But I'm not a devil. And by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife. Kitty Jones. Lisa Van Allen.
Kitty Cat.
Lisette Martinez. Geronda Pace. Faith Rogers. Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress. Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
In 2008, R. Kelly was found not guilty on 14 counts of child pornography after prosecutors in Chicago failed to convince a jury that he was a man seen in a sex tape with a girl as young as 13.
What do you want to say to your fans?
Last month, Kelly was in...
That's because Sparkle was the only one that got up there and said that was her niece. Sparkle's own family, meaning her sister, which is the young lady that was in the tape, mother, got up there, along with the little girl's daddy, Sparkle's brother-in-law, and the rest of the family said that wasn't her. That's how this man was able to get off. A mess. Bunny, if I rule the world.
Indicted again, this time charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of 4 women, including 3 who the charges say were minors at the time. Have you ever had sex with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never.
No.
Stop lying.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all the regret
I'm gonna tell you something, Gail. There's one thing. I'm gonna tell you something.
What women said about you.
What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely.
Bless his heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if
Come
I'm wrong,
on now. That's going to be his next single. I have been buried alive, but I'm alive. His random. His speaking voice is very it's very beautiful. His speaking voice.
Never
you can tell he can sing.
Anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50? You said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding...
That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to. Love me if you want. But just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Okay, look what you talking about. It's getting ready to get hot.
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I can't help 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
They up hooping and hollering. Now, R. Kelly, you saying that you're trying to have a relationship with your kids. You could have been, them kids been here. I think Andrea, them kids, what, they all about grown now? Or if they are all grown now. The kids that you share with Andrea. You know, Lollipop Head. But you could have been trying to have you could have been had a relationship with them. You could have been paid child support. You could have been. Like now, all of a sudden, this everything that's going on that's happened in years ago. Now all of this is coming to a head. I don't understand why you ain't been did nothing for the kids or tried to be with the kids. Like I don't understand. It's just you got caught up in that lifestyle, child, and everything else that was going on, child. But let's continue to play.
His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're gonna destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted.
You got them.
Being raped. Okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in things.
Robert, we have to have a conversation.
Allegedly.
I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
Okay, I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you,
I'm
it
just
does
telling
sound
the
like
truth.
You're playing the victim
I'm just
card.
telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
But Robert,
and I apologize for that,
No,
is because this is the first time I was able to say something. I've said nothing.
Gail, you remain tough and calm throughout that.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't do any good if we both got hysterical, or if we both got very emotional. And you could see, he felt that in his mind, everybody's lying. I said, but there's so many people who are telling the same story. And he kept going back. I said, but the women don't know each other. And he said, how do you know if they don't know each other? On social media, you're connected. He thinks everybody's trying to do a book deal or they're trying to do a movie, and that really people are conspiring against him.
I have to say, I've never seen anything like that. I don't know how that went on for over an hour and a half. What was he like before the interview? Because you didn't really know him that well.
No, I don't. I mean, in fairness, he didn't rant for the whole hour and a half, but he got very emotional several times. I met him maybe beyond 5 years ago at a party where you just say, hi, how are you? You know, it's not the time to say, remember we met 5 years ago? I hate it when people do that. So I did ask, can we have a conversation before the interview got started? I wanted to say, we're going to give you a platform to say whatever you want to say. It's no secret that he lives at Trump Tower in Chicago. So we went to his apartment there, and we had a conversation. And you walk into his apartment, there's a big welcome home. There's a Christmas tree that he keeps up all year long since his mother died back in 1993. He's very close to his mother, misses her very much because it was her favorite holiday. So he keeps a Christmas tree up all year long. It was like 90 degrees in there because he was resting his voice. He said he was going to be singing later.
But what he is accused of is dastardly.
Exactly.
Raping young girls repeatedly over decades. And I think what you did, Gail, was allow him to tell his story and to see, though, his behavior, his temperament, is, I think, what is probably what is most revealing of this interview as well. The pounding of the fist, the getting up. I was worried about you. I was was actually worried about you when I saw the pictures.
Well, it's funny. Favorite son, favorite daughter, and Oprah all called me and said, "Were you afraid? Did you think he was going to hit you?" I actually never thought that. I think that I thought I might get accidentally clobbered, but I didn't think that he would deliberately try to hurt me. I never felt in danger talking to him. I just felt that he had a lot of emotion. He wanted to release it. And, when it was all over, we had a conversation, we said goodbye, and I think at the end of the day, he was glad that he was able to say what he wanted to say.
Okay.
But it's hard to believe when you say, Robert, there are so many allegations
Yes.
and so many accusations, and you never had sex with anybody under the age of 17.
And it took this jury less than a day to deliberate.
Yes, exactly right.
There's more.
Now, did y'all hear what sis say, the white lady? Talking about, I was worried for you. I was concerned. I've never seen nothing like that. I thought that he was going to hit you. Wow, I've never seen... So you ain't never seen nobody get upset? Miss Lady, I don't know her name. Miss Girl. You ain't never seen nobody get upset and act the fool and irate. In all your years on this earth, you ain't never seen nobody act a fool. If it was a white man or a white woman that was acting a fool and showing out, oh, she's very expressive. She's upset. Maybe she needs mental evaluation. But if it's a black dude acting a fool and showing out and acting hysterical, oh, I was scared for your life. I've never seen pounding of the fist before. I've never heard anybody raise their voice. You see what I'm saying? Oh, girl. Trying to come at... it's all those little things that you have to catch with people. She was trying to throw shade because he was a black man. Am I lying? Y'all tell me in the comment section. Now, I'm about to play more clips. This is another clip of R. Kelly, and this is when he's talking about his finances.
R&B singer says he has little money left. Your income. It was reported that your income was very high. Hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll say that. Because I don't want to get hung up on the semantics.
That's one room I wish that was true.
And yet, when you were in jail last week, the bond was $100,000. And they said R. Kelly couldn't even afford to get himself out of jail. That a friend had to come and bail you out of jail. What is your financial situation?
How do you owe $161,000 in back child support? How does that happen? Ooh, girl, I ain't having no kids. Because you ain't going to take my money. You ain't going to take it. You ain't going to take it. I would have been paying, though. Or at least, and it's not like you're some normal person. You're R. Kelly. It's so sad. He done been taken advantage of some... Okay.
If you don't mind saying.
Here's the deal. So many people have been stealing my money. People was connected to my account.
Why, K. Michelle?
I went by myself for the first time to Bank of America. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
When did you do that? First time by yourself?
About 3 weeks ago to a month.
3 weeks ago was the first time you went to Bank of America.
Absolutely.
By yourself?
By myself. Because I was so tired of not knowing where my money was, what my publishing is.
Isn't that on you then?
Huh?
Isn't that on you?
A lot of it's on me.
That you didn't know where your money is?
A lot of it's on me.
And people say he doesn't have money because he had to pay so much in settlements. What do you say about that?
Lie.
According to court documents, Kelly settled 3 lawsuits with women who alleged...
Why is nobody talking about the fact that this man he's illiterate? He cannot read. He cannot comprehend a lot. He cannot spell. He cannot count. I don't understand how the tribe, how everybody in his life has failed him. They should have been got R. Kelly tutoring. They should have been tried to assist him when he was a child about him not being able to read and write. That is insane to me. That everybody, all the adults in his life when he was a child, just let it slide and let it go. Anyway.
They were minors when he had sex with them. But Kelly says what really caused him is the people who had access to his bank account. Something he found out from a bank teller.
I had like $350,000 in the bank. And I told her, look, take that I want to start a new account, and that's the way it is, right? So she said, okay, it's going to take 6 to 7 business days to clear. Does that make sense? Yeah.
The day after the trip to the bank, Kelly was indicted on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He says he was unable to access his bank account to make bail. Now he's back in jail for this separate child support case, something he became emotional about during our interview.
How can I pay child support? How? If my ex-wife is destroying my name and I can't work, how can I work? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How?
Your ex-wife...
Use your common sense.
Your ex-wife says you abused her, Robert.
13 years being married. I flew in on a helicopter.
Yes. Can somebody get us...
I don't want no tissue. I believe. Look, man, look. I'm telling y'all. I flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy that I proposed to Drea, whom I was in love with, and told her, hey, look, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. We got married. Okay? We had 3 beautiful kids. Not once have I ever had a domestic violence call at the house and all this, that, and the other. It never happened. Okay?
But in a Lifetime docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly, his ex-wife Andrea described a tumultuous and sometimes dangerous relationship.
And I went to the National Domestic Violence Awareness Hotline. And there's 17 questions. There was only 2 things on that list that Robert hadn't done to me. And that's when it became real to me, like, you're being abused.
Is Andrea not telling the truth when she says she was abused by you? Is she not telling the truth?
Absolutely. She's not telling the truth. I love her to death. I have nothing against her still. That is my kid's mother.
She's making that
If
up.
you
Why?
notice one thing.
Why is she making that up, Robert?
I'm not disrespecting her by saying she's not telling the truth. I'm just being honest. Somebody sent me something on my phone and said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people. What would I hog-tie? My kids is listening to this, all of this nonsense, and I ain't been able to spend no time with them. This is real. This is not a lie. What kind of woman would tear down a dad who's trying to have a relationship with their kids? You know how many kids need a relationship with their father?
What is your relationship?
But what about the food stamp fraud, R. Kelly? What about the food stamp fraud?
With your
Oh my God.
What is your relationship with your children?
0. But I know my kids love me. And I'm in love with my kids. I love my kids.
In January, Kelly's oldest child, who is now 20 years old, wrote in an Instagram post that she and her 2 siblings have not had a relationship with their father for years. We reached out to Andrea Kelly for comment on R. Kelly's allegations, but her representatives say they do not have any statements at this time. You know, I was there, and it was disturbing. It's even more disturbing to see it on video.
I even think this is more disturbing than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, you talked about him being sort of on the verge of something, but the volatility that I saw there, the intensity, what looked like lying about his past too. It was.
I'm sick of this
disturbing to
bitch. Who
watch.
is she? This white lady that worked with Gail. I don't like her. Undercover racist. That's all it damn is. Here's more extended clips.
Here on CBS's
I told y'all to get y'all some
Kelly about
dedicates.
his rough childhood and his story for surviving years of sexual abuse. He also discussed how the allegations against him could affect his personal life and his career. Do you still expect people to buy your music? How do you think your music should sit with people?
Absolutely. I think they should. Although a lot of them may not. But like I said, I'm really not fighting for my career here. I'm fighting for my rights, and I'm fighting to have a relationship with my kids most of all, more than anything.
Fight for yourself.
I want a relationship with my kids because I've missed a lot of years of their life.
Yes, you have.
They love me. I love them.
And they want a relationship with you.
I bet you they do. I bet my breath on it. You know, but they're pressured, and I get it. They're pressured, so I get it. But I believe that's going to change in due time.
You have daughters. If your daughters called you and said that somebody is doing to them what the allegations are about you, would you be okay with that?
Let me tell you something. I'd be up in that mother, everything up. I had to bleep myself.
But you doing it to other people's daughters. Everybody got parents, no matter how old they are. I'm somebody's child, even though I'm grown. You're somebody's child, even though you grown. You somebody's child, even though you grown. So what? That you can do this to other people's kids? What?
But I would
Yes.
leave
If your
everything
daughters
up.
came to you and said, look, this guy is doing to me what the allegations are against you.
Then I would have to arrest myself after I did what I had to do.
You've been very candid that you are a sexual abuse survivor yourself. You've talked very candidly that you were molested from the ages of 7 to 13, 14. How do you think that has affected you?
It hasn't affected me at all. I mean, it has affected me in a way, though. Yeah. It affected me in this way. Anything that I've been through, that or any struggles I've had in my past, has affected my music. It has,
Has it affected your behavior?
Absolutely not. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Robert, stop lying.
Oh, well, he was abused.
Exactly.
Well, that's why he's doing that. No.
No, the experts will tell you this. Most people who are abusers have been abused, but not all people that have been abused go out and abuse others. And so that's why I asked
That's
the
what
question.
the experts said.
That is what the
But they
experts
didn't say
say.
all, did they?
No, they didn't. No,
All right.
no.
Here I stand.
So that's why I'm
I'm
asking
in the
you.
not all. I'm in the not all. Okay? But they also didn't say when you're R. Kelly, okay, and you're famous and your name is ringing 25 million times a day all over the world, okay, of people trying to get money from
Hello,
you.
hey, what you
okay?
doing?
And they're using your past. They're using the past allegations, the past case that he beat to link it on to that.
Where your mom?
Okay? They're using that.
When you say that you need help, do you think you need to go to therapy? Have
doing
you been
what?
to therapy?
Absolutely. At this point, I'm definitely talking about that.
About going?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it seems like, some could say you might seem out of touch
That
to a
was
lot of
cool.
people.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, your perception of the charges against you. I know it's your side and it's your story, but you have a different perception
The
than
school
most of the
okay?
world has about you.
No, I have a
think
truth.
that
People have perception.
people have the perception.
I have truth.
Do you think you're
Yeah,
invincible?
okay then.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just seeing how you doing. Well, I'll talk
I
to
just
you.
think I'm
Y'all
human.
get something to eat.
Well, Jerika Duncan joins us at the
All right,
table.
love
You've
you.
covered these allegations and the stories against him. You've talked to some of the victims and their families. How do you think this interview is going to resonate in the court of public opinion?
In the court,
Very
in the
adamant about
He
his
is.
position.
And I think the fact that, first of all, great job to you and the crew that were able to book this interview, because I don't think anybody expected to hear from R. Kelly.
I did.
I had to make a phone call, child.
You have a man of that.
Hope y'all didn't hear it.
magnitude,
If y'all did, it's real life. I'm sorry. I love you. Hope you still love me.
celebrity deciding to sit down while he's actually facing felony charges that could end him up, could land him in prison.
Now, I ain't
up to
finna watch
70
these interview
years,
ladies
and he
now.
decided to give his side. Of course,
Sound
he
like
didn't
none
wanna
of
hear it.
them.
But I think when you look at social media and on Twitter, he doesn't have a lot of support. I think there are people who will say, oh, this is what I'm saying, the girls were lying or what have you. But by and large, what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is not a lot of people have sympathy for him. And even from some of the victims.
Okay.
the
Let
alleged
me speed
victims
this up
that are on
and
the
go to
page,
another
he was
clip.
featured. So shocked that it went on for so long. I mean, if you look at prior interviews where he's left, when it goes too deep, he gets up and he leaves. But you were able to keep him in that chair, and he did compose himself, and he continued
Because
to talk.
he said, I've been silent for too long while people are saying all these things about me. I want people to hear from my own mouth.
Right.
And in the end, he said, thank you for giving me the platform to say this. We even asked, do you want to take a break? Do you want some tissue? No, leave me alone. Just let me talk. And that is what we did.
Well, of course, we'll be waiting to see what happens as this goes to
Yeah,
trial,
that's
potentially,
right.
because that is the opinion that matters the
Exactly.
most.
It's not
12
just
jurors
social
who
media.
will decide whether or
It's
not there's
actual
enough
law.
evidence to...
The thing that
If you see y'all see me looking back and forth here, I'm just watching one of my favorite shows, Naked and Afraid. For, obvious reasons.
got to him the most, though, Jerika, was his relationship with his own children.
yeah, I
He
could
became
see that.
most emotional when he kept talking about, I want to see my children. I want to have a relationship with my children. There are clearly issues with R. Kelly and his ex-wife, Andrea, which he says he has the utmost respect for her because she is the mother of his children. But that's what got to him the most, talking about his own children.
And it's worth noting we likely wouldn't even be here having this discussion if it wasn't for that docuseries.
We have much more of our interview with R. Kelly addressing his current relationship with two young women. 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage and 21-year-old Azriel Clary live with him at his Chicago home. Their parents believe that the 52-year-old R&B singer has brainwashed their daughters. The Clarys' attorney released a statement calling Kelly a liar, manipulator, and sociopath. Later this morning, Savage's parents plan to hold a news conference addressing our interview. But here's what Kelly told us about the two young women. What is your relationship with them?
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, we have a relationship. It's real. And I know guys, I've known guys all my life to have 5 or 6 women. Okay, so don't go there on me, okay, because that's the truth.
The fact that they're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal. I just look at you're you, I'm me. Now, I don't know if you're married. I don't know. I don't know if you had a relationship. I don't know what I don't know. But one might be older than the other. One might be younger than the other. Okay? So I just look at legal. Okay?
Ooh, R. Kelly's. Ooh, girl. I didn't know you was gonna go here on this part, child. This part make you look a little crazy. Ooh, R. Kelly. Ooh, girl. But the thing that I don't think you really get, R. Kelly, is that you did not get those girls when they were legal. You did not start talking to those girls when they were legal. Them girls was like 15, 16, 17 years old. Okay, when you first started being involved with them, now they're legal. I think Joycelyn is 23 and Azriel, which is a beautiful name. Joycelyn is interesting name. It don't make no sense. Why they couldn't just black folks? But Azriel is 21, I believe, and Joycelyn is 23. But when you first started messing with them, they were not that age, young man. And since they legal, you could say, oh, it's because they legal. I just look at it, oh, are you legal? And no. He's digging himself a bigger hole. He don't understand. Bless his heart.
There are older men that like younger women. There are younger women that like older men.
Are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Okay. Kelly says he met Joycelyn Savage after her father brought her to one of his concerts when she was 19.
I didn't go looking for a Jocelyn Savage. I was doing my show. He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly. Make sure she's on the stage.
Azriel Clary also met Kelly at one of his concerts. Her parents say Kelly pulled the then 17-year-old on stage back in 2015. They say they had hoped that she would become Kelly's musical protege. Azriel Clary, what is your relationship with her?
Right now, I'm seeing her.
You were seeing her?
Yeah, she's 21. I'm seeing her.
She's 21.
Yeah.
But did you start seeing her at 17?
Absolutely not.
Did you have...
But the fact that he don't see, I know I'm getting on y'all nerves, so I keep stopping it. But the fact that he don't see that him as a 52, he looks good to be 52, by the way. But the fact that he is a 52-year-old man and he don't see an issue with dating somebody that's 21, it's crazy to me. Yes, she's technically grown, but that lady ain't grown how you grown. 52 and 21 is a big jump. things happen every day. We can all up and die at any point, no matter what age we are. But more than likely, R. Kelly, you gonna kick the bucket before her. And you already ain't got no money. I don't know what they there for you. I don't know what they with you for. You ain't got no damn money. Ooh, girl. Mm-mm.
Sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Although her parents wanted me to.
No, her parents claim they have text messages that show that you had sex with her when she was 17.
Claim.
So you're saying you did not have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not.
You are with two women right now. You love them. They say they love you. What kind of love is it that keeps these young women away from their families? Their families are saying... I'm talking right now about Jocelyn
because
and
Azrael. I'm going to answer your question.
What kind of love
father,
is that?
What kind of father? What kind of mother will sell their daughter to a man?
Who did that?
How come it was okay for me to see them until they wasn't getting no money from it? Why would you take your daughter, if I were going to take my daughter and she's 19 years old to a 49-year-old icon, whatever, celebrity or R. Kelly concert or whoever it is, I'm not going to put her on the stage and leave her. I'm going to take her to the concert. Their father is more into my music and know about my music than they do.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azrael and Jocelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to us?
Absolutely.
Now, I have heard some tea about that. I remember watching Shantae Moore on the Sister Circle, and I believe Selena as well, when she agreed with Shantae Moore, and Shantae Moore said something like, I've seen, parents hand their daughters off to, because they was talking about the R. Kelly situation. Yeah. But like, she say she done been backstage and she's been on tour with R. Kelly or whatever. But anyway, she's seen backstage how it be mother-daughter duos be thotting together, booping and bopping together. And they be back there to see R. Kelly together. Now, I have heard that now. Now, I also do believe that as well. Because it's all about the Benjamins, baby. It all comes down to that. Now, I do believe... I'm not saying that's in the case of Azrael and Jocelyn parents, but I'm just saying I do believe that happens. Everybody want fame, everybody want money, and some people will do any and everything to get it. Let's continue.
Are the cameras still going?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I know you're suggesting that the parents sold the daughters to him?
He is saying that the parents are in it for the money, is what he's saying. He is saying that both sets of parents brought the daughters to him in hopes that they would work together, and that the parents could do a deal with them, that maybe the daughters could work. I mean, he tells a very different story. I talked to Azrael's father the night before the interview. He very much believes that his daughter's been brainwashed. He says his daughter loves to sing, and that's how she got involved with R. Kelly. He says he has text messages that prove they had sex when she was 17. And there's all sorts of court cases going on. It really is, Nora, I have to say, hot mess all the way around, on all sides.
And Jocelyn's parents, as we mentioned, are going to be holding a press conference.
Yes, they're holding a press conference.
Okay, now, Gail also talked to these dumb girls. And, let's hear what they have to say. They are beautiful, by the way, but... Dear God, where's the brain cells?
Interview you'll see only on CBS this morning. The two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer.
What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him.
Oops.
That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah, that's what it is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
That's Azrael talking. Now, she the one with all the attitude. Jocelyn didn't say much. Because, Jocelyn... about scrambled eggs in the head, but this is Azrael talking mostly. Beautiful, both of them.
A very strong relationship as
Both
well.
of you.
Yes, most definitely.
How do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those.
Yeah,
We
Both of
both
those?
have our individual relationships with him, and
Right.
we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azrael going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually? Well, first of
between
all,
the
I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal life.
Okay.
And I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as
You're not here to talk about your personal life. Yes, you are. And who was you against? I would have slapped that one. I'm trying to help you, girl.
a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
No, I wouldn't, but
Okay, then. So,
no,
yeah.
no, you're
Next
right.
question.
No, you're
Ooh.
right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's
And
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all
He trained
believe
them.
you're in love with him?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your
No.
parents be concerned?
No.
Why?
Well, my parents knew where I've always been. 4 years. They have known. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was
No.
17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what
Yes.
she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money and
Your
they're
parents,
scamming.
you're saying the same as saying...
Well,
you're
both of our parents are basically out here to trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, with music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
This is the first time hearing, to be honest with you, that your parents are trying to get money from R. Kelly.
Okay.
Because your father told a very different story
Yeah,
to me
well,
last night.
yeah, he's the manipulative. He's very manipulative, so he's the one you need to watch out for. But my dad and my mom, they started to send threats to both me and him. They said, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him. If he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday, I'm going to put everything out there and then $10,000 after that. You're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe.
You
I'm
are.
not. I'm your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sound very angry with your parents. You sound very angry and very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth. You guys are believing some facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid. That's because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells. Gossip
Exactly.
is what sells. Rumors
Exactly.
are what sells.
Exactly.
But Joycelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors. These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Right.
And what they're doing right now is all for money.
Right.
Now, both sets
We see who the outspoken one is. Jocelyn just sit back. Well, I guess.
the parents deny ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from him. As I watched as I was talking to them, because I had talked to the father, there are two very different stories. I'm sure Mr. Clary, if he watches this morning, his head will explode because he has a very different version of what these young women are saying. And his team had told us that R. Kelly would not be in the room. After the interview started, he was around the corner behind them. They couldn't see him. but at points during the conversation, he would cough very loudly like that, so they were aware that he was there.
He wanted them to know that he tried to stop the interview backstage a couple times.
Yeah, a couple of times. Laz, who was taking those amazing photos that you've seen, is my makeup artist, who's also a very good photographer, as you also see. R. Kelly came up to him and said, should I stop this interview? Should I stop this interview? He never did. So the girls at some point were certainly aware that he was there. And I just wanted to say, as a mother, get your things, let's go. You are 21, you are 23, and he is 52 years old. And I know many people believe age is just a number. When you're looking at these young women, they parrot a lot of what he is saying.
It's ugly to watch, but abuse is ugly. And the manipulation that continues, and the powerlessness, and trying to feel powerful, and the blame. It's a bad situation. I think one day, years from now, everybody will look back on this and just say it's very sad, very tawdry, and just very, very ugly. I hope that what comes of this is that people go to the websites, and we should post them too, that his ex-wife talked about, where you can look at the signs of whether you're in an abusive relationship or not, because you'll find out, hey,
I don't like this lady.
10, and then you realize I need help.
Yeah, now they do not think they're being abused or manipulated or brainwashed, but again, they're 21 and 23. In our next hour, we will ask R. Kelly
is back in jail this morning for not paying his child support bills. He was arrested yesterday in Chicago after he failed to pay more than $161,000 he allegedly owes. Now, that happened just hours after Gail
spending
time with you, living with you.
Past some of this.
About allegations that he lured these young women with promises of helping their singing careers. Now, Kelly claims it was Savage's mother who pushed him on the issue.
She started promoting that Joycelyn could sing, and she was a singer, and she's trying to be a singer, and wanted me to produce her or whatever. I said, well, let her sing. She sang, and she couldn't sing.
But how does it go from she can't sing, you don't think she has a talent that you like, but she ends up being with you, spending
time
I'm not
with her for her talent. When I saw her on stage, nothing about her told me she sing. I don't have I can't say, oh, that girl sing. It's because she was beautiful.
Well, we then interviewed Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage with R. Kelly, who was standing nearby, even though his team had told us he would not be in the room. He entered after the interview began. They told us that their parents are just looking for money, which both sets of parents deny. Do either of you want to sing?
No.
None of you have any singing ambitions?
No.
And the Azriel girl, she has a beautiful voice. She can sing down.
That's another lie. Yeah. That's another lie. Yeah. Trust me. No, we did not want to sing.
I did hear that you wanted to sing.
No,
that you wanted to sing.
So let me tell you something about singing, actually.
Okay.
Before I even met R. Kelly, I told my parents I did not want to sing. My parents made singing like a job for me. So this is not something I wanted to do. And not only that, I even tried to kill myself because I did not want to sing, as a cry out for help, to tell them this is not what I want to do with my life. This is not how I want to spend my life.
Yeah, your father told me that you had tried to take your life, and that the only thing that made you happy was singing.
No.
And that's why he became involved with R. Kelly to help you.
No.
Neither one of you want to sing. What do you want to do in terms of a job or career? Are you happy just doing what you're doing?
Honestly, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my life, but I know when that time comes, we know Rob is going to support us regardless.
Right. Most definitely. He's our full support.
Ooh,
full support.
God damn.
And all we need is each other.
Jerika Duncan is outside the Cook County Jail in Chicago, where R. Kelly is in custody, with the response from the Clary and the Savage families. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning. Azriel and Joycelyn's parents both say that they never received any money from R. Kelly. And as you just heard in that clip, Azriel says that she actually tried to attempt suicide because of her parents pressuring her to sing. Well, CBS News reviewed medical records, and according to those medical records, Azriel told doctors at the time that the suicide attempt was triggered by issues with her then boyfriend. She told them music helped calm her down. And in the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, Clary's parents say it was Azriel who was pushing to become a famous singer and work with Kelly. They claim they told Azriel she could not be alone with Kelly if she worked with him.
I didn't think it was a good fit. I didn't want to have any part of it, but Azriel actually pressed us. She made her little threats about if we didn't, let her do this, what she would do.
At a news conference yesterday, Joycelyn Savage's parents said they had proof it was Kelly who arranged for Joycelyn to meet him. They said they were disturbed by his interview.
What I saw on TV this morning about his way he acted when he got upset, I can only imagine what he does behind closed doors.
I sit there and I want to not just pray for my daughter, but pray for Mr. Kelly to get some type of healing.
Now, about 30 minutes after the news conference, Joycelyn contacted her family for the first time in 2 years. She called their lawyer's office and said that she is happy. Now, a manager for R. Kelly said that he would facilitate an in-person reunion for the Savages as early as next week. Joycelyn's parents also said, though, that they want a mental health expert to be with them. Bianna?
Thank you,
Can I say something to Jerika? Jerika, I'm glad you pointed out about the medical records because Mr. Clary, Asriel's father, told me the exact same thing. The reason why she committed suicide, that she tried to commit suicide, tried to take her own life, was because she had had a very messy breakup with her boyfriend. So I'm glad that you have documentation that actually backs up what he is saying. Thank you, Jerika.
I mean, it's a sad story, as you mentioned, all the way around.
Yes.
And it's so complicated, and there's so many layers.
It's very complicated and just very, very tawdry and messy. But hopefully there will be a resolution very soon. Thank you very much.
And of course, any young girl has the right to change her mind as to her career ambitions, but that seems to be a bit more than just that.
That's a good point.
And we remind you...
Duh, bitch. I don't like them. I don't like them women's Gail be sitting with. I don't like them. They're judgy. I feel like they're undercover racist. I don't like them. Anyway. Oh, first of all, thank y'all if y'all watched this long video with me. This video is almost an hour long. Simply because of all these 12-minute clips. 12-minute clips here, 5 minutes. All that thing add up. So thank y'all for still staying with me if you're still here. Wow is all I have to say. I try my best to protect my little cousins. 3 girls, 2 boys, ages 13 to 15. 12 to 15. You know, they having little girlfriends, having little boyfriends here, whoop to whoop. I'm snatching them up as I can get them, doing as I can, but I'm, also still trying to have my own life, some kind of, also with a mother that's sick, arthritis, cousins, mental disabilities and things. It's a lot. It's a lot on my plate. I just brought me into it just to be like, I don't know what I would do if one of my little cousins or one of my nieces or goddaughters or anything like that got in this kind of particular situation. I don't know how I would react, what I would do, if I would go to jail or what. Because this is serious. The fact that R. Kelly is still walking around, ain't nobody, not once, ever. It's insane to me. One thing that I mentioned earlier is that I feel like it's sad that his whole tribe around him has failed him. Since childhood, everybody has failed him. Everybody. He didn't even talk about the fact that his older sister, when he was a child, molested him. He didn't talk about, I believe in the documentary or somewhere I read that he was molested by a man as well as a child. He didn't talk about that. It's in his head, this is okay, clearly. He sees nothing is wrong in his head. That man is gone. He ain't never been there. My eye twitching, child. It's a shame. I feel like R. Kelly would have did better if he would have went on Ayanlo versus this particular platform. I do. I just feel like he would have felt more safe to really reveal the truth and not be so like calculated and interview ready, so to speak. He would have been a little bit more relaxed, probably, and we would have found out a little bit more about how R. Kelly thinks, what's going on in his head, things from the past, etc. It seems like a more supportive, more comfortable, loving environment being on Ayanla versus being on this particular, platform. I don't know. I just hope there's some kind of justice for these girls, these families. I hope that Azriel and Jocelyn, why is that her name? Can and then the mama, she got an ignorant name too. I forgot her name. But I just hope that they can somehow leave, get out, and justice can be served in this situation. But it's just sad that this black man has a mental disorder. He does. And throughout all these years, nobody gave a damn. Nobody cared. It's crazy to me. It really is crazy. What I do want, though, is just like y'all are getting these black pedophiles out here, I want y'all to get some white ones as well. Just to throw this out. Harvey still walking around and doing his thing. Ain't that Julie Chen man? He's still walking around doing, let's get them all in there and make them right and play together. Okay, let's get them all, not just the black ones. I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this long video, child. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Skinswear Instagram and Twitter, at Skinswear89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. Mr. Chalaki on Cash App and PayPal. Run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. It's so weird saying that that little phrase when, it's such serious videos like this one. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk in the comment section. I love you guys much. Alright? See you guys later. Bye.